All right, so get ready because today we're going to be saying goodbye to that lazy girl era.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to be doing a deep dive today into how to level up your productivity and mindset.
Love it.
We are exploring a YouTube video today by Tam Kaur.
Okay.
It's titled How to Exit Your Lazy Girl Era, all caps, pipe, productivity hacks, comma, discipline secrets, ampersand, mindset, all caps, level up P.
Catchy.
Yeah, and Tam Kaur is basically saying, like, she is so done with your laziness.
Okay.
And she's ready to share all of her secrets for success. But of course, we're going to go a little bit beyond just, like, summarizing her video.
Yeah.
We are going to extract the most potent insights.
The juicy stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
For you, our listeners, and I think it's fascinating how she uses this really tough love, almost competitive approach to motivation.
Yeah.
Like, it's like she's tapping into this primal instinct that I think we all kind of have to be better, faster, stronger.
It's like she's saying someone out there
Yeah.
with the same dreams as you is hustling harder than you right now.
Right.
Why aren't you out there, like, respecting yourself and respecting your future self?
Yes, and it's a little bit in your face.
It is.
But you know what? Sometimes I think we need that. Like
Yeah.
that little push.
That reminder.
Yeah, that we're not alone in this journey.
Totally.
And that we can absolutely rise to the challenge.
100%. I think this is about tapping into that sense of self-love, too.
Yeah.
She really emphasizes that dreams don't work unless you do.
Ugh, so true.
And it's not just about checking things off of a to-do list.
Right.
This is about, like, honoring your potential, investing in yourself, showing up for the person you want to become.
That really resonates with me. You know, like for me, when I put things off or I don't give something my all,
Yeah.
it's almost like I'm letting my future self down.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, none of us want to face that judgment from our future selves, right?
Oh, absolutely not. It's
Yeah.
like that nagging feeling of what if, or if
Yeah.
only I had started sooner.
Uh,
But it's more than just avoiding that regret. Psychologically, when we align our actions with our values and aspirations,
mm-hmm.
we actually reduce cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
That uncomfortable feeling of inconsistency between our beliefs and behaviors.
Oh, so by taking action, we are not only moving towards our goals, but we are also creating this sense of internal harmony.
Precisely. And she takes it a step further
Okay.
by reframing the whole concept of failure.
Okay.
She argues that the biggest failure is not even trying.
Oh, wow.
Now, so that really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
It does, instead of being paralyzed by the fear of, like, messing up,
Right.
it encourages us to see trying as the win, regardless of the outcome.
Exactly.
And even if things don't go as planned,
Yeah.
it's a chance to learn and adapt and grow, which I think is a perfect segue into her productivity hacks.
Oh, yeah.
Because let's face it, sometimes those big goals can feel really overwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're trying to break out of that lazy girl mindset.
Totally. And she talks about how overwhelm is often the result of trying to do too many things at once.
Yeah.
It's like having a million browser tabs open in your mind,
Uh-huh.
and your brain just can't process it all.
Yeah, it's like information overload meets decision fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
It's no wonder we end up frozen and just like reaching for that comfort of procrastination.
Right. So one of her key strategies is to break down those really big, audacious goals
Okay.
into smaller, more manageable chunks.
I like that.
She uses this example of someone who wants to build a six-figure business,
Okay.
which can feel incredibly daunting, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But instead of getting lost in the enormity of it, she suggests breaking it down into monthly tasks.
Okay.
Register a domain name, set up a website, create a product, prototype, and so on.
So it's like creating a step-by-step roadmap.
Yeah.
Instead of just staring at the summit of a mountain and being like, how will I ever get there?
Exactly. And each step you complete builds momentum and confidence. Plus, from a psychological perspective, checking those smaller tasks off of your list
Mm-hmm.
triggers a dopamine release,
Oh,
which
yeah.
reinforces that positive feeling of accomplishment and motivates you to keep going.
It's like a positive feedback loop.
Yes,
Productivity.
exactly.
Yeah.
But even with a clear roadmap, sometimes we need that extra push,
Oh, no,
internal drive to keep us going.
Yes, and Tam Kaur talks a lot about the importance of having a strong why.
Yes, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
It's not enough to just have a goal.
Right.
You need a deep emotional connection to that goal,
Uh-huh.
a reason that resonates with your core values and aspirations.
So she uses examples like retiring your parents, achieving financial freedom, traveling the world.
Right.
These are big, impactful motivators. They connect to our deeper desires for security and freedom and adventure.
Totally. But it's about finding what truly lights your fire.
Yes.
What makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning and tackle the day.
Yes, what is that thing that makes you excited to do all the things?
Exactly. Because when your actions are fueled by a purpose that truly matters to you,
Yeah.
it's no longer just about ticking off those boxes. It's about contributing to something larger than yourself.
Yes.
And that sense of purpose can be incredibly motivating.
Right.
Especially when you face those inevitable bumps in the road.
So we've got the goals broken down. We've got the why firmly in place.
Yes.
What's next on Tam Kaur's productivity hit list?
Oh, she's a huge advocate for the power of lists.
Oh my gosh, me too.
And I have to say, I'm totally on board with her on this one.
Lists are my lifeline.
Yes, but beyond just helping us stay organized, there's some interesting psychology at play here.
Okay, tell me more.
Absolutely. So when we create lists, we are essentially externalizing our thoughts and tasks,
Okay.
freeing up valuable cognitive space in our brains.
That makes sense.
It reduces that feeling of mental clutter
Mm-hmm.
and allows us to focus more effectively on the task at hand.
I love it. Plus, there's just something so satisfying about physically, like, checking things off a list.
Oh, yeah?
It's like a mini celebration for each step that you take towards your goal.
Love it.
And Tam Kaur takes this to the next level.
Oh, really?
She schedules her entire day, hour by hour, including her breaks.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm ready for that level of structure,
Yeah.
but it does highlight the power of intentional planning.
I think it's about creating a framework for your day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not just constantly reacting to distractions
Right.
or feeling pulled in a million directions.
Mm-hmm.
And she even has separate lists for things that make her feel good versus those that drain her energy,
Oh, interesting.
which I think is a brilliant way to prioritize self-care and mental well-being.
Yeah, like she's consciously designing her days for maximum productivity and happiness.
Right.
You know what else I love about her approach?
What's that?
She doesn't shy away from making work enjoyable.
I love that.
She's all about romanticizing the process,
Okay.
even for those tasks that we might typically dread.
That's such a key point because let's be honest, we're way more likely to procrastinate on things that we associate with drudgery.
Yes.
But if we can find ways to inject a little bit of pleasure, a little beauty,
Yeah,
it completely changes the game.
totally. Like, she talks about how she hated her university degree,
Okay.
but she found ways to make it bearable by, like, dressing up, going to cute cafes,
Oh, nice.
surrounding herself with motivational content. Like, she tricked her brain into enjoying the process.
It's about tapping into the power of our environment
Yeah.
and how it can shape our mood and motivation.
I love that.
By curating our surroundings,
Yes.
whether it's our workspace, our social media feeds, or even the music we listen to,
Mm-hmm.
we can create an atmosphere that supports our goals
Yeah.
and makes the journey more enjoyable.
Speaking of social media, she's huge on using visual inspiration, like
Right.
creating Pinterest boards that romanticize things that she doesn't naturally enjoy.
Okay.
I love that because sometimes we need that little reminder of why we're doing this. That visual representation of the outcome that we're working towards.
It's a form of positive reinforcement.
Yes.
By surrounding ourselves with images and ideas that align with our goals,
Yeah.
we're essentially priming our brains for success. But even with all the mindset shifts,
Yeah.
lists, and Pinterest boards in the world,
Right.
sometimes that initial hurdle of getting started
Yeah.
is the toughest part. Have you ever heard of the Pomodoro technique or the 3-minute rule?
Oh, definitely. The Pomodoro technique is like my go-to.
Okay.
When I need to power through a task.
Ah.
I love the structured intervals, like 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
It just makes the task feel less daunting.
And for those moments when you're really feeling that resistance, that urge to procrastinate,
Mm-hmm.
the 3-minute rule can be a game changer.
Okay.
The idea is to commit to just 3 minutes of work on the task. And often, once you get over that initial hump, you'll find yourself naturally wanting to continue.
It's like tricking your brain into productivity.
Exactly. But of course, one of the biggest obstacles to productivity is distraction,
Oh, yeah.
especially in our hyper-connected world.
Yeah.
And Tam Kaur gets pretty extreme on this one.
Okay.
She suggests shutting down your phone completely,
What?
or even giving it to a friend for safekeeping.
Wow.
It sounds radical,
It does.
but it speaks to how addictive those devices can be.
Totally.
It's like a digital detox on steroids.
So,
But is it realistic for most people?
probably not.
Maybe not. But it does make you think about how much control we actually have over our technology.
Right. Are we using our devices or are they using us?
Exactly.
That's the question.
That is the question. But for those of us not ready to go completely off the grid,
Yeah.
She suggests habit stacking as a way to build new positive routines.
Okay, I like that.
This is a fascinating concept. The idea is to link a new habit you want to create
Mm-hmm.
with an existing one.
Okay.
So, for example, if you want to get into the habit of meditating,
Mm-hmm.
you might pair it with something you already do every day, like brushing your teeth.
Or like her example, scrolling through TikTok while walking on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You're already at the gym, so why not multitask and make it more enjoyable?
Exactly. And over time, that new behavior becomes more automatic,
Wow.
less effortful,
Okay.
because it's anchored to an existing routine. But it's not just about what we do.
Right.
It's also about the environment we create for ourselves.
Yeah.
Remember Tam Kaur's motivational TikTok folder?
Oh, I love that it's like having a pocket-sized cheerleader ready to pump you up
Yes.
whenever you're feeling uninspired.
Exactly. It's a great example of curating your digital environment to support your goals.
I love that.
And speaking of getting a boost, Tam Kaur also tackles the issue of dopamine addiction.
Okay.
That constant craving for instant gratification that we often get from social media, video games,
Yeah.
and other digital distractions.
It's like we're chasing that dopamine hit, but it's often at the expense of our long-term goals and fulfillment.
Right. She suggests replacing those digital dopamine hits with real-world activities
Okay.
that bring genuine joy and satisfaction.
Like what?
Like spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, pursuing a hobby,
I like it.
or engaging in creative endeavors.
So it's about finding activities that nourish our souls, not just our dopamine receptors.
Exactly. And it ties into the idea of progress over perfection.
Okay.
She stresses that it's better to take imperfect action than to get paralyzed by the fear of not doing something perfectly.
Yeah.
She uses the example of wanting to go to the gym.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on losing a certain amount of weight or working out for a specific duration, just focus on putting on your gym clothes.
Yeah.
That's the first step. And once you've done that, the rest becomes much easier.
It's like lowering the bar for entry, making it easier to overcome that initial resistance.
Exactly. And then, of course, she's a huge proponent of leveraging technology
Okay.
to streamline our lives and boost our productivity. She loves using financial apps to automate her savings and investments. And for aspiring entrepreneurs, she highly recommends Squarespace for building websites, managing businesses, and basically making the whole process less overwhelming.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Yes.
And taking advantage of the tools and resources that are available to us.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground mindset shifts, productivity hacks,
Yeah.
even the power of environment and technology.
Uh-huh.
But Tam Kaur doesn't stop there. She dives deep into the concept of discipline,
Okay.
which she believes is the key to unlocking our full potential.
Interesting.
And she presents a really interesting perspective on discipline.
Okay.
It's not about being harsh or punishing yourself. It's about training your brain to embrace discomfort for greater rewards.
So she contrasts comfort addiction with discomfort tolerance.
Yes, essentially, our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain,
Right.
which makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. But in today's world, that wiring can often keep us stuck in our comfort zones,
Right.
preventing us from pursuing our goals and reaching our full potential.
Oh. It's like our brains are constantly scanning for threats.
Right.
Even when those threats are things like public speaking or taking on a new challenge or having a difficult conversation.
Exactly. Those things might trigger discomfort,
Yeah.
but they're not actually dangerous.
So it's about recognizing those fear-based responses and consciously choosing to act despite them.
Yes, and Tam Kaur suggests gradually increasing our tolerance for discomfort
Okay.
by intentionally challenging ourselves with small steps outside of our comfort zone.
That's like dipping your toes in the water before diving in headfirst.
Exactly. It allows you to acclimate to the discomfort and build confidence along the way. And as you navigate those challenges, remember to be kind to yourself. Progress is not always linear, and setbacks are inevitable.
It's not about beating yourself up for those moments of weakness or self-doubt,
Right.
but about acknowledging them, learning from them, and getting back on track. Self-compassion is so crucial,
Totally.
especially when we're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into escaping the lazy girl era,
Yes.
I think it's important to remember that this is not just about productivity hacks or achieving external goals.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset of growth, a willingness to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for transformation.
And that's something that extends far beyond our work or personal goals. It's about showing up as our most authentic, courageous selves in all areas of our lives.
It's about taking risks, speaking our truth, challenging the status quo,
Yeah.
and ultimately creating a life that is aligned with our deepest values and aspirations.
So we've explored mindset shifts, practical strategies, and the psychology of discomfort.
We have.
But as we leave you to ponder all of this, we want to pose a final question.
Okay, hit me.
What does it truly mean to embody this new identity?
Yeah.
This person who actively seeks out discomfort as a path to growth?
What does it look like to walk through the world with that level of courage and intentionality? How would your life be different?
I love that.
If you embraced discomfort as a friend, a teacher, a guide.
We hope this deep dive has sparked some inspiration
Yeah.
and given you some actionable tools to break free from those lazy girl habits and step into a life of purpose, passion, and continuous growth.
Remember, the power to transform your life lies within you.
So good.
Embrace the discomfort, challenge yourself, and watch yourself bloom.
I think what's really striking me is how she reframes discipline. Like, it's not about deprivation or self-punishment. It's about consciously choosing discomfort as this path to growth. It's almost like she's advocating for like a discomfort connoisseurship.
It is a fascinating shift in perspective, isn't it? Like, we're so conditioned to avoid discomfort at all costs. But what if we leaned into it? What if we embraced it as a necessary part of the growth process?
Right. And it connects back to that idea of the future self. Like if we constantly give in to those comfort-seeking behaviors, we're essentially robbing our future selves of the experiences and the achievements that come from pushing those boundaries.
And it's not just about future rewards. It's about that immediate sense of accomplishment and empowerment that comes from overcoming a challenge. Like, think about the last time you did something that was outside of your comfort zone. Didn't it feel amazing to prove to yourself that you were capable of more than you thought?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a muscle. The more we exercise that discomfort tolerance, the stronger we become. But she acknowledges that our brains are wired to resist discomfort. Like, she talks about how our brains are constantly scanning for threats, even when those threats are things like networking events or public speaking engagements.
It's a survival mechanism, and it serves us well in our evolutionary past when threats were often physical and immediate. But in today's world, those perceived threats are often psychological. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. And those fears can hold us back from pursuing our dreams and living these fulfilling lives.
So it's about recognizing those fear-based responses and choosing to act despite them. And she suggests starting small, taking tiny steps outside of our comfort zones, and gradually increasing that intensity over time.
It's like dipping your toes in the water before diving in head first. It allows you to acclimate to the discomfort and build confidence along the way. And as you navigate those challenges, remember to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Progress is not always linear and setbacks are inevitable.
Exactly. It's not about beating yourself up for those moments of weakness or self-doubt. It's about acknowledging them, learning from them, and getting back on track. Self-compassion is so crucial, especially when we're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zones.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this deep dive into escaping the lazy girl era, I think it's important to remember that this is not just about productivity hacks or achieving external goals. It's about cultivating a mindset of growth, a willingness to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for transformation.
And that's something that extends far beyond our work or our personal goals. It's about showing up as our most authentic and courageous selves in all areas of our lives.
It's about taking risks, speaking our truth, challenging the status quo, and ultimately creating a life that is aligned with our deepest values and aspirations.
Yeah. So we've explored mindset shifts, practical strategies, the psychology of discomfort. But as we leave you to ponder all of this, we want to pose a final question. What does it truly mean to embody this new identity, this person who actively seeks out discomfort as a path to growth?
What does it look like to walk through the world with that level of courage and intentionality? How would your life be different if you embraced discomfort as a friend, a teacher, a guide?
We hope this deep dive has sparked some inspiration and given you some actionable tools to break free from those lazy girl habits and step into a life of purpose, passion, and continuous growth.
Remember, the power to transform your life lies within you. Embrace the discomfort, challenge yourself, and watch yourself bloom.
That's it for this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourself to become the best version of you.